Hey students, Miss Kano here. Thank you for joining me in today's video. We are going to be working on the problem of the day. In today's problem of the day, we are going to be working on a subtraction problem, okay? So before we get started, the first thing you will need is a pencil and paper so you can follow along with me in solving the problem. So you will be able to represent and solve the word problem. A word problem. Okay, let's start. So the first thing we're going to do is read the word problem, word by word, putting our finger on each word, reading slowly, circling our numbers, and underlining what the question is asking us. So read with me. Moody Gardens has 9 penguins. Ooh, Moody Gardens. I remember when we went on our first grade field trip to Moody Gardens. And they had really nice penguins. Some of the penguins were sent to the North Pole. Now, Moody Gardens has 5 penguins. How many penguins were sent to the North Pole? Okay, I read the problem one time. Now I'm going to read it again, and I'm going to circle my numbers and underline my question. Moody Gardens has 9 penguins. How many penguins do they have? 9. Some of the penguins were sent to the North Pole. So they left. So that's how we know we're going to be subtracting in this word problem. Now Moody Gardens has 5 penguins. How many penguins were sent to the North Pole? Okay, the question is asking us how many penguins were sent to the North Pole. We know they started off with 9. They lost some, and now they only have 5. So we want to know how many did they lose? How many left to the North Pole? So the first thing we're going to do is draw it. So you can draw it using dots, or you can draw it using actual little penguins. I have this 10 frame here that I want to use, and these little penguin pictures. So Moody Gardens has 9 penguins. So I'm going to put 9 penguins on my 10s frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 penguins. Some of the penguins were sent to the North Pole. Now Moody Gardens has 5 penguins. So I'm going to take penguins away till I only have 5 left. And I know one row on my 10s frame is 5. So when I have just one row of penguins left, that's when I know to stop taking penguins off my 10 frame. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. I took 4 penguins off my 10 frame, and I was left with 5. So I can draw it by drawing my 10 frame. Remember, when we draw the 10 frame, we draw a rectangle and 4 lines going up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 going across. Now we have drawn our 10 frame. So I'm going to put 9 dots in my 10 frame because that's how many penguins we had to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm going to put an X through the dots on my 10 frame till I only have 5 left on my 10 frame. Remember, I know that one row is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I took 4 away. I put 4 X's. So 4 penguins were sent to the North Pole. So we're going to move down to our number line. So I'm going to draw my number line. And when I draw my number line, I'm going to number my number. On my number line, I'm going to number all the way to the number 9, because that's how many they had to start with. So we will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to stop right there. So I'm going to put a dot on my number 9 because that's how many I had to begin with. And I'm going to jump backwards because I'm subtracting. I took away. I'm going to jump backwards till I land on the number 5. Why the number 5? Because that's how many are left at Moody Gardens. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop right there on the number 5. How many jumps did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4 jumps. So 4 penguins were sent to the North Pole. So I'm going to move along to my number sentence. Now I formed my number sentence like this. This box right here represents how many penguins I lost. How many went to the North Pole. So we're first going to start our number sentence with how many penguins we had to start with. How many did we have to start with? 9 penguins. So I'm going to put my number 9 right here. And I know we ended up with 5 penguins that were left at Moody Gardens. I know that I had to put 4 X's on my 10 frame, and I took 4 penguins away from this 10 frame. So my 4 is going to go right here. 9 minus 4 equals 5. Now we move on to using words to write the sentence. Using words to answer the question. And the question was, how many penguins were sent to the North Pole? We said 4. So we're going to write that in a sentence. 4, F-O-U-R, 4 penguins. Penguins. If you don't know how to spell penguins, you could always go back to your word problem and find the word penguin. I know it's going to start with a P. Penguins. So I can spell it in my sentence. 4 penguins were, see the word were, 4 penguins were sent to the North Pole. The North Pole. Period. Make sure you always add your punctuation mark at the end of your sentence. Always start a sentence with a capital letter. 4 penguins were sent to the North Pole. We answered our question in a complete sentence. We have completed our problem of the day. Thank you so much for joining me.